It's
All
gonna
sorts
be
of
it's gonna be all sorts out of pocket. It is what it is, people. Deal with it. That's life. The stream will be getting started soon if I can get past these technical difficulties and get things rolling. Keep on rolling, partner.
Rice TVX, the mic's live wire. American Pitbull, real gold buyer. Sound money advocate, rights defender. In the crypto arena, he's the top contender. From the gritty streets of the digital age, Rice lays wisdom, chapter and page. Silver, gold, he sports only the bold. Land, life, and liberty, these values hold.
Twitter, what's our phone? See me, the stands, evergreen at the sound of the sound.
Constitution, deep dive, knowledge revival. Navigate the system, critical for survival. Rights engraved like inscriptions on metal. Pitbull in the game, lead foot on the pedal. Land acquirer, a strategic mind. In the fight for freedom, he's frontline. Educator on rights, the law he'll explain. Chris Rice the Pitbull, breaking the chain.
I'm gonna go to you. That met them from skater.
In the arena where truths collide, Rice TVX, the certified guide. Silver and gold, land and rights. American Pitbull in the freedom fights. In a world of chaos, he's the calm in the storm. Teaching the masses, ready to inform. Keys to crypto, rights we cherish. His wisdom lights paths that others perish. Guardian of wealth, from digital to ancient. His legacy crafted, fearless and patient.
Oh,
never
yeah.
gets old. Never gets
Doesn't
old.
get old. Crypto Blood.
Yo, it's Crypto Blood, Detroit flow, streaming from the D, knowing what to show, indicators are wrong point, OG since 12, invested in trade, living life like a pro, I'm Rucker, Jerry, and just Bloods do, bad motherfucker in a good way, boo, got my eyes on the charts, ain't no time to sleep. Get that money, gotta keep it creep. That's why Crypto Blood, twist the toasters on the line. Stacking my coin, got the market on my mind. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum too. Cash is king, but I'm looking for a new move. I know the culture of the markets like the streets. Got my finger on the pulse, can't nobody beat. I see the trends, I see the flow. Got my strategies in place, you know. I can't grab enough from written dicks. That ain't scared, all the nuns, the car, the record stitch in this. No, not Joe, just to say it. There's the Nick shit that rapping now, business and take it. It's over for me, great scrimmage.
Speaking in tongues, y'all.
Yeah, but he did say church is safe in there somewhere. And Dick. AI has a soul. I just don't know which side it comes from.
I'm saying he pays. Can't see that pain. Got it pain in Nick. They agree with the plane. With a love for Chuck. With Joseph Trolaciel. On the play, go charge, fat and slay. Brother train the soul to sing and sign the road. Better came the shore. She better creep a privet toe. Like the lady bad and feel like that's super. That's real fan. I feel a life pro viewer. Nigga, chip a question down to change you, but I need to broad down when I'm looking for a new move. A new move. A new move.
All right, shout out to the sponsor of Rice, TVX Pre-Search, a decentralized search engine with AI that rewards. You can find all the information, every video description on the Rice side. Here we go. Listen up, people. If you want to trade smarter, if you want to trade better, if you want to learn how to talk about yourself in third person, here you go.
Looking for a reliable crypto exchange? Look no further than Fairdesk.com. Trusted by Crypto Blood for over 2.5 years, Fairdesk powers Bloodalytics, his proprietary trading system known for highly accurate buy and sell signals. CB has trusted Fairdesk's reliable system for years to enhance his trading strategy with Bloodalytics. It's the backbone of consistently beating the market. So join CB and trade with confidence. Use the link in the description below and get 1 month free of Bloodalytics signals. Fairdesk.com. Trade smarter, trade better.
Oh, I thought I had that thumbnail gone, but no, it was not gone. We are here. Seth, unmute yourself. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining myself, Reverend Rice. I am joined over here by Bishop Blood and MineYourBiz. For the three.
Booty face biz. We got booty face biz, and he's cut all the hair off, ladies and gents. He's cut it all off.
I don't know if it's MineYourBiz yet. I don't have a medallion or any kind of an amulet or anything here yet. I need to put this on my prayer beads here. These were custom, handcrafted by child labor, but they were a part of the faith, so their sacrifice is valid.
I gotta give me one of those. Those are dope.
I'll make them for you. Booties. I have some metal, like a metal prayer bead necklace that I think doubles as a weapon.
That may or may not be what this thing does. So, Blood, I got you.
That's the cool thing about those things is, yeah, they have multiple purposes as well as being ceremonial.
You like use them like nunchucks or something?
Well, depending, like the ones I got, you can wrap them around your fist. You could just use it and swing it. So yeah.
But beyond that, the correct size mala bead like this is also really good for trigger point massage. It gives life and it takes it away.
Let me let everybody know that we are all streaming. At least I think you're just streaming on your X, right, Seth?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Just X right now.
So Blood and myself, we are streaming on the YouTube. All three of us are streaming on the X, and I am also streaming on the Rumble. We have links down below in each other's video descriptions for each other's channels and socials, and we greatly appreciate if you would support us all three of us. The three of the Trace Amigos, the trifecta, as I like to call us.
Trifecta. Oh my God. Round of applause.
I mean, eventually, I think we can dive into that. I don't want to necessarily dive into that. One thing I did want to share with everybody, and I'm pretty psyched about this. I did, what's the word I'm looking for? I pirated copies of this because it's only available on Fox Nation. But I'm part of this documentary that came out.
Nice.
And I will let people know how they can check it out. But if you have a subscription to Fox Nation, you can definitely watch all 3 episodes of The Last Days of John McAfee. I'm featured in 2 and 3. My voice is in the beginning of 1. I'll play a trailer here in a second. But you can also join for a year, is what it says, and you get 7 free days, and then you can cancel before the 7 days is up. That is what the producer of the show who got me connected suggested that I do to watch it, because I told him I don't want a subscription to Fox Nation. He said, no, just get the year subscription. Obviously you don't have to pay for it. You get the 7-day trial, and then just cancel before the 7 days is up. Make sure you don't get charged, and you can still watch them. And while I was at it, I pirated it. So I want to go ahead and real quick pull up on full screen this commercial. One of the commercials they have for this documentary.
Did John McAfee take his own life? Or was there something more sinister at play?
I don't believe that he committed suicide. I believe wholeheartedly that he was probably drugged or injected with something so that he couldn't put up a fight, and then he was propped up.
What if there was more to the story? The circumstances surrounding McAfee's death are so fishy, they came with a side of chips and tartar sauce. He spoke for years about being a hunted man and that the charges against him were politically motivated.
He had believed that U.S. government officials were after him, and he had feared for his life.
I think the United States government and Department of Justice wanted to erase John McAfee.
John was very specific in saying that he would not kill himself.
John himself had said on Twitter, if he had died as suicide, that it wasn't suicide. And so you have someone that's saying, I want to live, and defending my case. You have to take that seriously.
I think John McAfee was definitely murdered.
So that's the trailer for this thing. It's pretty cool. Like I watched it and I'm featured really heavily in the third one, which is really cool because they basically the first two were kind of rehashing a lot of his life, which I thought it was just going to be all about the last days. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So if you guys want to check it out, I will let people know how they can watch
Fox
it.
Nation. Now is that Fox News?
It's Fox.
It's
like their paywall side. You know,
yeah, but they just lost Deadpool and the X-Men, so they need something that's like worth watching now, right? So
damn,
yeah, go watch this.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I'll share with everybody. It is on my website, on the private side of my website. So if you want to support me, it's $7 a month, which I think is about what you would pay for Fox Nation, but you get all the other extra stuff too. So yeah, it was cool, man. I mean, like I said, this is my first actual documentary I got to be a part of, and it was nice to actually be, because I'm watching the first and second episode, and like halfway through the second episode, I'm like, well, there's really not much of me, but it doesn't make sense that I would really be in this part. And then after that, it just kind of changed. It was like, shit, you're showing me a lot. So it was pretty nice.
That's what's up.
Yeah, no, I'm really appreciative of that. So I encourage people to check it out.
Unlike my experience being in a documentary.
Yeah, that sucks what happened with that last one you did. Especially going out there and filming stuff.
Twice. I went out there twice. I went to New York, Brooklyn, stayed there 2 days of filming.
Fox acts like they had no budget. LA. Fox acts like they had no, like, very, very limited budget. I think they paid certain people that you saw on there, like Judd Weiss. He was John McAfee's running mate in 2016. They also got Jimmy Watson on there, and Jimmy Watson was the original connection that got me.
I remember Jimmy.
So he was the guy that had a little mohawk looking thing on the trailer.
Yeah.
So he's apparently got a channel and doing stuff. It's just not crypto related, because he did get wrapped up in that whole thing that all the charges that John McAfee was charged with, he was charged with
IRS stuff.
Yeah, the IRS. I believe
How did he get off of it?
He didn't get off. He was found guilty.
Damn.
I believe he was found guilty, or there was some sort of plea. But yeah, or he did a little bit of time.
Plea.
Yeah, something to that effect. But yeah, Jimmy Watson, let me see. IRS charges. I'm wondering if there's anything updated. I want to get the Fox Nation guy to get me in touch with him. He told me what his channel was called, and I forgot. Because he's apparently got a channel, but yeah, they were both indicted with the IRS stuff.
Hit that like button, ladies and gents.
And he was charged with the SEC stuff as well. But as far as like the outcome, I'd have to look it up more. Just looks like June of 2022, the SEC came to a final judgment against Jimmy Watson in the ICO fraud case. So somewhere in 2022. Yeah, congratulations to everybody in this national debt that we've incurred. I want people to pay attention to the number of the 138 billion part here, because that's when I think the last time we looked at this, it was 135, and that was just 2 days ago. So that's
America is a nation of overachievers. What can I say?
$3 billion in national debt in like 72 hours. It seems like, if I remember.
I think it's $1 billion a day. That's what I heard.
So yeah, we're going to hit 36 in no time, and then in 37 will come even quicker, and then 38 if we even see those numbers.
Yeah.
So if you guys are watching over on Seth or Blood's X account, make sure you're following me. If you're watching on mine or Seth, make sure you're following Crypto Blood at Crypto Blood _ mine is at RiceTVX. And then we have Seth, if you're watching on mine or Blood side, at MineYourBiz. I don't know what article you want to start with, where you want to go. You want to share opinions? What do you want to do? How are we going to do this?
Yeah, Seth, you've got the red room going on for the massacre.
Red room.
Well, hey, this is unprecedented in this phase of the market so far. I was on a call with somebody recently who said, you know what? This isn't a crash. Bitcoin below 20K was a crash before. This is just a correction. It's just a little correction. I'm like, okay, that may be right, but we did not have this level of price action in Bitcoin at the same time that we had record delinquencies across every major credit option that you can think of.
Right.
Consumer credit card debt, auto loans, home loans, everything, right? So So this is for some people who are really hoping that Bitcoin would become their head right now, and we would kind of have a straight up into the right movement. This is a shock. Some people are very, very shocked,
and they shouldn't be. I've been preaching it for some time. Bitcoin is not a hedge against risk. It is like the ultimate risk asset. So this is why you have Bitcoin going down and the crypto markets going down even more than the equity markets, even more than what the bond markets are going up, because it's the other way, is opposite way with equities. It's just, unfortunately, guys, that's part of it. If you don't know that,
look at the name. Look at the name of Seth stream.
That's what Bitcoin is saying to everybody right now. And Blood is saying, in other words, he's saying it more eloquently.
You should definitely either be ready to have dry powder on the side and buy up, or be ready to get out the way. Buy at a lower price, because listen, it's going to go up faster than everything else when it does. It's just about at what point does that happen? Does that happen after we touch $20,000 Bitcoin?
Okay, so from your Cryptodamus prediction, because Cryptodamus has seemingly been, I'm not going to say 100%, but there's some accuracy. There's
some accuracy.
Accuracy, if I was saying it correctly, accuracy.
Yeah.
What does Cryptodamus accuracy meter say?
The Bloodometer says that we go lower.
Okay.
We go lower.
Which I was saying Monday.
Yeah. And people, shout out to... I think Wisdom Bars, he's been trolling us heavy on Twitter, on X. He's like, you guys took an L, we're going back up. I think it was Wisdom Bars, may have been someone else. But 1 day is not going to, or 2 days is not going to.
More like a dead count.
We rejected 57K. What does that mean going up? After rejecting 57K, we're going back up, what, from 55?
Exactly.
Get some perspective.
We gotta wait a little while to say the crash is over and we can move higher, guys.
Okay, for one, I didn't start buying Solana Monday. Okay, I bought Solana weeks ago, so I didn't cause the crash. But we're talking about a reverse Kramer kind of thing, like with my calls, and I said lower, so it was going to go higher, which it technically did, but that was already anticipated. I think we go lower, man.
Lower. I think we go lower if and only, and I don't think I shared this one. I didn't realize this morning. I saw that the Bank of Japan said, they came out with a statement. I don't know if you guys saw this. They came out with a statement saying that they would not raise rates any longer. So they're putting a pause on that in these types of environments. So I think that's why we're getting a rally today, a relief rally. But I think lower lows might be in the books.
Yeah. Let me ask you, Blood, a very specific question.
We should do a mashup. I mean, if we're all talking about the same damn thing, we should all just been on the same damn show. T. Will's ears have got to be hurting. He's like listening to us and Hotep.
Yeah, that's crazy. What were you going to say, Seth?
I was going to ask a very specific question, law-abiding citizen. Look going on. Thank you. I appreciate that, fellow citizen. But I was going to ask specifically is, hey, it's one thing to talk about like kind of, in generalities, probably lower, very, very tactically, Blood. You got to have limit orders set right now. You got to have some idea of like things you might want to catch. What's one limit order that you feel pretty good about for yourself right now?
I actually don't have any limits in right now.
What's good things that you can say about yourself? What did you just say? Did you just say, can you say one good thing about yourself?
No, he can say a lot of good things about himself. I'm asking him a good thing about his chart.
Oh,
I'm looking at the chart.
Good thing about his
I don't know that there's good things in it. I think also, like I said, I feel like we have because a lot of this stuff that's going on isn't necessarily because of this yen carry trade. That kind of perpetrated things.
That's one of them. Yeah,
it helped to perpetrate things. But we've been seeing the cracks in the windshield splintering for years now, 2 years. I mean, when we started seeing those bank failures.
Yep, that's one. And they say, I think during the Great Depression, it took 1 to 2 years, Rice, after the first initial wave of bankruptcies or closings before we saw the actual hit.
Right.
So this is a process.
Where's that?
This is not happening in one night. This is not happening over one weekend, or like we saw. This is not the end. Is all I'm saying. And I think what Rice is saying, this is a process, and we have to deleverage. I think we're going to go through a deflationary event. Okay, people always talk about inflation, but I'm talking about deflationary assets, price of assets deflating. That includes gold, that includes Bitcoin, that includes real estate, that stocks. Everything is going to have to come back because it's just we've done too much, man. We've printed too much money.
Inflated. Yeah. What is the guy's name that owns Berkshire Hathaway?
Buffett.
Charlie Munger.
He's dead. No, it's neither one of them two.
Yeah, I mean, that was a joke.
Yeah,
his estate still owns
Buffett.
it, though. Yeah.
Warren Buffett.
Old dude. Okay, so Warren Buffett sold a bunch of stock. I think it was a bunch of
Apple. He's been selling Apple.
Like half of the stake, right?
They had to report all that stuff in advance, which I think
not in advance, but I mean, no, it's not in advance. It's just it has to be reported.
It has to be reported to the SEC
months later or something like that. Yes.
So this could have been 3 months ago. We don't know the specific time period.
Correct.
Because it said 277 billion cash hoard after selling Apple. So he's sitting on a lot of cash. He's sitting on a shit ton of cash. So, I mean,
he has more T-bills than the government. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that, and he definitely knows what the
fuck
cash,
basically, ladies and gents. That's basically cash.
It's the most liquid market.
Mm-hmm.
The bond.
Well, I'm wondering of that hundreds of billions of dollars in cash, how much, like what the composition is, Blood, how much of that is T-bills and how much of that is actually like just cash versus, cash equivalent.
I'm sure most of it's cash equivalent. These wealthy people don't hate cash. Like
the Oracle of Omaha. I mean, the thing was too. I mean, he could have bought back in and bought the same amount of shares that he sold and still took profit while with this dip and stuff. I mean, and again, we've been seeing people selling a lot of different CEOs and different big names in the financial market getting rid of their assets, offloading their assets. We've seen this with Jamie Dimon doing that with JP Morgan stock. There was several others, like even I would say it was at the tail end of last year. A bunch of people were selling a bunch of, I think Jeff Bezos had sold a lot of his stock as well. A lot of people, and that's when
like
there was
6 months ago or something.
That's when there was talk about.
They were talking about everyone's buying Bitcoin,
underground bunkers too.
Oh yeah, but they were saying, is everyone buying Bitcoin? Did Bezos sell to buy Bitcoin?
Seth's new channel's name is Bitcoin and Bunkers.
Yes, Bitcoin beans and bunkers. You can't just live on Bitcoin, man. You can't eat Bitcoin.
3 B's, the 3 B's of life.
Yeah, Bitcoin beans and bacon, or Bitcoin beans and bullets. I don't know. It's something like that, but I appreciate you kind of like teasing, Rice. I mean, I'm going to miss these sessions when they shut off the internet.
It's bad to say that, but I think that we will be one day sitting alone remembering this moment in time where we're talking about.
Make sure you guys download these local recordings so we can like sit there in misery and cry and watch ourselves.
I think that's Whitney Webb has talked about this before, but collecting information on it, and I mean, there's been others. Mark Passio, who I've interviewed, he sells a 3 terabyte worth of data. Like you can send him a hard drive, he'll put it on. And it's a bunch of books and a bunch of things that have been, but a lot of people don't have access to much over that. Depending on people's affordability, that's still, a good $100 for a decent terabytes worth of storage. And you can get a lot of documents and videos. You also need to learn how to compress things and all that. But I definitely encourage people to start offloading information that you find important.
Let me answer your question though, Seth. Okay, I got to give you 2 scenarios. Scenario A is less of a doomsday scenario. We maybe get a little bounce here. Then we get interest rate cuts from the Federal Reserve, which people now an interest rate cut spooks the markets because they're like, oh shit, it is a recession coming. So we get a little pop, but then we drop some more, and they continue to raise interest rates. I mean, drop interest rates, 50 basis points here, 25, whatever. That I think we would maybe take another 20% lower in Bitcoin, maybe to the 44, 42 range with Bitcoin.
I think I said 42. I think I said 42-ish at
now,
the low point.
Okay.
But if we get 42, we might as well fill that 39 CME gap. And
correct. So yeah, in that range. Now, if shit really hits the fan, and it's just contagion everywhere, more, the whole 09, 08 scenario, man, we can go back $20,000 Bitcoin easily, and that will be the previous high. Is it the previous cycle high?
Previous. Because we had a 74-ish. What are we calling a high now? 74.
74.
And then we had 60. Was it 69 or 68 change?
I think it was like 69 420, almost exactly. It was beautiful.
It sure was.
So we had
simulation.
69 was
that's just
high,
a simulation pricking
so
us.
That would have been 2 highs ago. 2 smoke sessions ago.
There you go. Round of applause. I think 20K, man, is worst scenario for me at this point. But
hey, question.
I just look at Main Street. I'm seeing so many stores close. I'm talking about dollar stores. I'm talking about CVS's, pharmacies. Good catch.
No, I want to ask. Yeah, I want to ask the Rand. I think the Rand 1984. I think he's the gentleman that gave me this in a bar at the Margaritaville Hotel. I just wanted to confirm if that was the gentleman or not. I believe the Rand is the correct. Good to see Carlos Diaz in the house. What's good?
Hey, my guy. You know what? I won't say. I'll go ahead and say it. Carlos Diaz told me that he knows a person whose father lost $30 million in this crash.
Wow.
30 million. And it's so crazy because you sent us an article. I don't know which one it is. Is it the one you have? It's the one that says crypto liquidations top 1 billion after Bitcoin dives.
This one here from Decrypt.
All right. So if you scroll down after the chart, you'll see if you just want to put in Bitmark or what is it? Damn it.
I thought it was another exchange that had the highest.
Yeah, one person had the highest liquidation, which was one single liquidation was like 27 million. And I was thinking like, damn, I wonder if that's the guy. I can't find it now. Let me type in 27.
The single largest liquidation in the past day has been 27 million position on Huobi, according to
Huobi. Okay, yeah.
Huobi.
I wonder if that's him. Because
now can you tell me
$30 million?
Now I know that you do this, but I'm starting to feel like, and I'm not saying all this up and down swing action is because of this, but we're seeing complete liquidations of shorts and longs. No, like this whole fucking. There's too much leverage. There's too much leverage trading in crypto, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
And I think it doesn't.
That's how you bring the excitement in. If you have more leverage, you have more volatility. That's what brings the traders in. That's what brings the speculation in.
So that's got to be him. So you guys want to let's give a moment of silence. A moment of silence to the gentleman that lost 27 million.
That's got to be him. That's exactly what I thought. 27 freaking $1 million, bro. Like, man.
I mean, what about $1 billion a day debt? I mean, that's crazy too. I mean, thank you, the Rand. I appreciate you. I mean, because we're incurring $1 billion a day in national debt. This guy loses 27 million. It's like, can I get 1 million? Just one of those million. I mean, if we're going to incur this much debt, we might as well just go ahead and just give everybody money and just kill the system and just kill the system.
We've tried that. They tried that. Remember?
I mean, make everybody millionaires, and devalue everything. It's where you can't buy any
UBI. Yeah, they definitely want the three of us to start talking about UBI seriously, so they can usher in the CBDC, so that way they can distribute it in a way that they can fully lock down our purchases.
just get rid of the CBDC term, just to keep with the idea of programmable currency. Because they're going to call it whatever the fuck they want to call it, but it's programmable currency, and we just keep using these different words. And I think the government at this point is not going to use a central bank digital currency for multiple reasons. A lot of it because if it was created through the banks, that has something to do with government. You're going to deal with legislation, constitution, all that bullshit, all that bureaucracy. If you deal with the private sector doing it, you don't have to as much. And we have already seen situations where it's not, the government can't censor its citizens. It's actually unconstitutional for the government to censor the citizens. But supposedly
against a lot of commit murder.
But it's supposedly not unconstitutional to go to the social media companies as the government and say censor the citizens for us.
That's what GARM is. Yeah, that's exactly what GARM is. GARM.
Do you believe in the Constitution anymore, Rice?
Oh, I believe in it. Whether or not,
no, I'm saying, is it instituted? Is it being?
They're trying to erode it. If it wasn't, dude, we wouldn't have guns right now. Okay, that's one thing. So maybe the Second Amendment's protecting the whole damn thing at this point.
What do you think, Seth?
I'm a believer in what Rice is saying about the Second Amendment being instituted. But here's the thing: we already had well over 100 million guns in private ownership before the government started to go fully off the rails and fully evil. So I think the genie was just out of the bottle there. But I mean, they don't need to confiscate our guns if they confiscate our minds, and they've been doing a very good job of that lately. So, yeah, I think that the Constitution has been largely out the window. Look, George W., we had no problem letting him propose Patriot Act and be the face of the Patriot Act. He took away already habeas corpus. You can be shipped off to Gitmo for essentially no reason other than that they just feel that you're an enemy.
You have no constitutional rights, no right to trial, jury, none of that shit. No right to counsel.
I think the Constitution, as Mr. Anything for Click says, is a bunch of BS.
Right now, it is. I agree with you. The interpretation, because in the courts, the interpretation is what matters. And they're wiping their asses with it. They have been for 25 years.
That's a good way of saying it. Believing in our Constitution, but our constitutional rights are gone. And I mean, again, this is stuff that we have to change. I mean, this is like, I really wish people would have been educated enough to realize that this is supposed to be a government that was created by the people, of, for, and by the people, and that all of these so-called government subservients or individuals are supposed to be our subservient. They're supposed to serve us. We are supposed to control how this thing operates. And we were actually told, I believe it was in the Bill of Rights by Thomas Jefferson, that if the government, and I'm going to paraphrase, but if your government gets out of hand, it is your duty and it is your right to make sure you undo the shit that they did and fix it.
That sounds reasonable. But you know what?
What does that look like?
It means people taking a stand and actually saying we want to actually get our country back on track. We're tired of this bullshit game that everybody's playing.
I gotta agree with Red River Post. Americans don't even have a brain to wash. Round of applause for that.
The majority, but again, that's not their fault either. It's a combination of the foods, the education, the propaganda, the conditioning, just everything that we've been. I mean, again, we've talked about this whole thing being a well thought out plan that has been perpetrated for quite some time. You know, we can definitely just take it back to the very early 1900s with trying to create the Federal Reserve numerous times and it failing and then ultimately passing. And that seems something a little bit more logical. And if we look at it from that perspective, just all the shit that's been done. I mean, that's what I mean, again, how taxation on labor was never supposed to take place.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, all this stuff that it wasn't supposed to be is heavily instituted.
Soy sauce land.
Right? Like, Seth, heavily. Like, people don't even think twice about no taxation without representation. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. And it's just like, it's a bunch of BS, Rice, in my opinion. There is no Constitution. But here's the thing.
Unfortunately, the people who are most brainwashed against it, though. So, pardon the interruption. Just really briefly, my hot take is that, unfortunately, right now, there's a massive, and I appreciate you, Rice, pointing me to David Roger Webb's work, right, and then also pointing my attention towards the fourth turning. I needed to get up to speed fast. I carved out an entire day when you put that away. It was so compelling. I got into it just a little bit, and I was like, no, I have to I have to fully wrap my head around this. But the idea that right now we have a current huge generation. I'm sorry, millennials in the audience. I'm going to throw you under the bus because your peers, if you're here talking and listening about cryptocurrency and freedom talk, you're the exception. You are not the rule. Most of your peers in the millennial generation have been born, bred, raised to be subservient, unquestioning socialists. We have people who actually believe that it would be better if we just eat the
a lot
rich.
of younger people, 100%. I'll drop the link for this.
That's because they don't know the history.
We are. I've said it before that we are all still slaves. When the U.S. citizenship was created, it didn't undo slavery. It just made everybody a slave, and we're on one big plantation. And there's lots of big plantations, but we're on the biggest plantation right now. And I dropped the link for it in the chat, so if people want to check that out. It's a mere documentary a friend of mine did years ago. It's pretty educational.
Can there be sub plantations, Rice?
I guess each state would be a sub plantation in the big plantation.
Okay.
You might be talking about the
black
penitentiary system.
Black folk is they're in a whole sub plantation situation.
Oh, that's a sub. That's a sub. That's
sub.
The hood of the plantation.
Bro, we in the hood plantation, man. We got it doubly bad, triply bad.
I mean, it is again. Everybody has to tell me if you own a house and don't pay your property taxes. What's going to happen to your house? So how do you actually own your house? We just have all these privileges.
Again,
like, I don't want privileges.
I was watching Sachs Realty, and he had a guy on who was a Nobel laureate, I think, for his work on taxation or something, maybe something else. But you know, he was debating or talking about the subject of property tax. Is it constitutional or not? And it's interesting because property tax actually doesn't come from federal. It's a municipal, state thing. Yeah, so it does become constitutional somehow. See, this is what I'm saying, bro. They can move the goalposts. That's why I say the Constitution is a bunch of BS.
So here we go.
They'll move the goalposts.
Question for
you can't tell me you can't tell me Californians fully exercise their Second Amendment, right?
No, that's why I was even having this.
Right? It's impossible.
Listen, I was having a discussion at the United States is going to be starting to be
bullshit, right?
You're already seeing like people move to certain states because they like the way these states are. You're going to start seeing people migrate to the areas that they like the best politically and everything. You're going to have your little California type people, and you're going to have your Texas type people, and you're going to have your Florida type people, and it's going to be groupings of people like that because of the way states are. But again, states should have the right to be able to govern themselves. And I think people should understand that if you are trying to make a change in politics, it's a lot easier to make a change on a local level or a state level versus on a federal level. So, and
so when does the Civil War happen? Not if. I want to know when, because it's going to be a civil war. And I'm thinking, should I say CW? CW, I'm sorry.
Okay,
CW.
before we get into the CW,
CW50.
Let's hold the CW. Because I think it kind of bleeds in with this. No pun intended. For the woman.
CW20 or is it CW50? What's the channel? CW20.
V2. 1776 Part 2. Question for the panel, and we'll go with Seth first, or we'll go with Blood first. Blood, at what price would you vote for Kamala?
What do you mean? What price?
Like what would it take?
A bribe? A bribe, right?
What would it take? I'm assuming. What would it take for Blood?
I could never.
And vote for Kamala.
I could never. I could never vote for a white woman president.
for an Aryan
I think that's one of the reasons.
I can't vote for an Aryan, Indian, white.
He claims everything else but white. So she's everything but white is what I've got. Not butt wipe, but butt white.
Yeah, but that's just it though. Her actual pedigree is butt white.
Butt wipe.
She's literally Aryan. You saw Joe Brown's takedown, dude. He was vicious.
Yes. Joe
he destroyed
Brown,
this
wasn't that great? I didn't know. Yes. That's a whole nother conversation. We'll have to do a whole nother breakdown on Joe That guy is awesome, bro.
We got some great viewers here. And I appreciate everybody for tuning in for this conversation that went off on like a complete different tangent, because we were going to be talking about the markets. We still can talk about the markets, and all this, I guess, does intertwine because and I don't think any one of us would vote for Kamala for any price particularly. So I think I'm just
Press O'Neill. No, it wouldn't be a civil war against. Yeah, it wouldn't be a CW against blacks and whites, not at all. This is more
yeah, but that's another thing too.
Red and blue.
Right.
Crips and Bloods, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the blood side. I'm on the red side.
How many blues are anti-Second Amendment? So I would think
nearly all.
I would say
a lot.
Reds. So what do it doesn't seem like it would just be a slight conflict because it wouldn't last very long. You got a bunch of guys with guns. What do you think, sir? And a bunch of guys not with guns.
But they control the people with guns, i.e. the military.
Well, yes and no, because there's a lot of I think we'd find some very surprising lessons if it did boil down to whatever CW2 Electric Boogaloo. Like we would we'd get into some very interesting territory about like, oh, I did not expect you to have that. I didn't expect these people to respond that way. And for my part, I don't want to see this. I don't want my boys to live through this. I don't want my children to have to live through these days. But here we are, right? Like maybe this is reality. I think it's going to be more about like our amazingly talented and competent border czar, who is still technically a VP.
Obama, right? Obama.
She said she was never the border czar. Now, come on, guys, get with it.
Oh yeah,
she gets to astroturf her own public record and service. That's happening now.
They don't. No, dude, they don't. Their AI is doing that in real time. They did that with the performance from the Super Bowl with Alicia Keys, her screw up. The AI corrected it. So when you go back and rewatch the replay of it, you don't see the actual, which isn't a bad thing because when you listen to live music, you don't want to hear something perfect. It's nice to hear mistakes because it shows humanity. But the AI went back and corrected it. So I think we're being edited in real time, bro.
Yeah. Okay, so actually, I'm gonna go.
They're trying to make us think that we're crazy. Like, no. We never. Nobody ever.
Oh, so we're just gonna have like a running. What is it called? What's the president of South Africa? We're gonna have a running Mandela effect. It's just gonna be an ongoing Mandela effect, huh? Right. Is that what's gonna happen?
So the black and white people united against the gay coalition and some old ass people.
Yeah, they don't want that.
Paraphrasing that.
So I'll take it a step further. It won't be even blue and red. It won't be red and blue. It will be nationalists versus globalists. So you will find, to Seth's point, you'll be surprised to see some red people are on the globalist side. Some, a decent amount of them, and at least in Washington. So you're going to see them team up with the blue liberal neo-Nazis, and they're going to go against all the ones that are nationalists, which are all red.
We also can't forget all of our friends and neighbors that are crossing our border or have crossed our border that are all militar age.
That was what I was getting at before. Like, with our borders are completely derelict.
That was
maybe intentional to get a few million of those folks over the border, which would actually greatly outnumber our current troops that are enlisted. So yeah, there's that.
Especially when you're sending troops to other places too, because they are sending troops. If I'm not mistaken, there's 3 big ass ships that are headed towards Israel. 3 big old fucking monstrous fucking things, and you're like, these are things that have to be prepped in advance. So this obviously has been something that's been planned out in advance, because there's no way that you could have those kind of ships with those amount of people and preparations and supplies in that short of time.
Black women and simps will make it a race war. You got to know this. What?
This is a great chat today. This is such a great chat.
Truth.
Aliens versus humans.
But hey,
are the aliens the people coming across our border, or are you talking about extraterrestrial?
I got one for you. This is going to rock you guys. Let me pull it up. You can keep talking. I'll bring it up. Speaking of like black women, a lot of black women are starting to wake up though.
I'm staying in California.
Oh yeah, because I'm just gonna let me distill that down so it's less intersectional. Women know which way their bread is buttered. Women, they have an intuitive sense. They're more feral than men are. They know when the ability to provide is going to stop. World War III puts a damper on the ability to have kids and procreate and just enjoy domestic life in general.
Not necessarily. It's actually, I found out from a sociological study, and I can't remember where I heard this, but people birth less in times of prosperity. People birth more in times of disparity. For some reason, like
it's a balance.
Fear causes people
that's true,
to
but
fuck.
it's a balance.
Fear causes people to fuck. And
I definitely fucked when fear COVID. I was
he was humping like a rabbit out of fear.
Oh my god. So
apparently, yes, in time, that's what they say. All nations that grow into a time of prosperity, you start seeing a decline in birth rates, which then ends up causing a problem for those countries to be. There's another word for having other demographics that birth more children than the cultural demographics. So then you can have other nations. That's where people are predicting like Germany and France will be Muslim states in the next 20 years because of how many Muslims are birthing more children than anybody else combined.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
so if you do that,
so
that's the idea of
is
Sharia law is birth more so we can just like overtake the world, because if there's more of us, we can control the world.
It's a winning strategy. It's worked very well in certain areas. Japan is dealing with I mean, you read this article about the oh god, it's called I think it's literally called the birth visa, or like the reproductive tourism program, where they're trying to get people to come into their country to help increase the birth rate, because Japanese people aren't doing it on their own. So
yeah, well,
I mean,
China screwed up too, and they limited how many children could be birthed, because I think now they have a little bit of a situation on their hands where it's like there's not enough younger people to fulfill all the older people's roles.
Yeah,
so that's how you keep society going. Who is Anton? Is this Anton?
Shout out to Twill, aka Twill. He said he tried to hook me up with Anton Daniels. He's a podcaster, pretty controversial guy out of Detroit.
I can see that. People seem to hate this guy.
Yeah, he's a polarizing guy, definitely. But I just wanted to play this quick. If I'm trying to edit it and skip around and during the live stream. So let's see.
Vote for Kamala Harris. This X post made me so mad I almost threw the phone across the room. I need a goody powder because I have a headache. Why is it this illegal alien, this so-called migrant from Venezuela, left a receipt at the cash register in one of the New York City bodegas?
I got the receipt. I'm going to show you the receipt. Actually, you know what? Let me just show you the receipt right now.
Show him the receipt, Anton.
I don't know what her
the receipts, man.
But I definitely pulled up the receipt. So this was the receipt, and this is what's going viral on the internet right now. It said, my friend was behind a Venezuelan woman in line at a
food
store.
Stamp balance. Wow.
And the woman left a receipt, which is not abnormal.
Cash and food stamps.
I don't always take my receipt with me either. Even when I go to the bank, I just give it back to the teller and say, hey, can you get rid of this?
Like $4,500 in
Look
cash.
at this S right here. I can't get EBT and look at the cash balance. We'll let them tell us it's no help though. The cash balance, if you look at that right now, the cash balance, the EBT cash balance is $4,400.
I never heard of EBT
the
cash.
The food stamp balance is $13,000.
I thought EBT
$13,000.
Yeah.
13,000. This is what's happening, ladies and gentlemen.
13,800? Because I would round it
13,800. 11. Round of applause for Rice using his vision. Yeah, bro. I, mean, I just wanted to play that. I just wanted to show what's going on, man. It's really that deep out here. Really that deep. When you've got veterans that have $100, $200 to their name. They fought for our country. They're homeless. It's ridiculous, man. That's why I say it's no. I have no hope. I have no hope. I'm leaning on you guys to be more optimistic. This shit is out of control.
I'll try to take the other side of the debate, but it's not going to be easy.
You don't have. I mean, I'd rather us keep it real and say, what do we do from like, what do we do? Like, how do we, what's the best thing for people to prepare?
I think anything for clicks is onto something here. Just lose your ID, cross the border, come back over.
Because if you have, because here's another thing that has been explained to me. If you would have been like Japanese and you would have put some of your yen into Bitcoin, with what's going on in Japan, you would actually be doing well. So, and also having, let's say you invest $10,000 in the right cryptocurrencies and you just happen to make a really good return on your investment that could change your life. It gives you the ability to be able to do things you wouldn't be able to do before. So having that financial cushion, or if you're lucky enough to have that fuck you money, there's a lot of things that we could do to help ourselves and help others. And that's
dumping as we're streaming. So
literally, where are we at?
Listening to us.
Where are we at? Where are we sitting at?
Well,
Bitcoin 54.7.
Is that
maybe
54.7? It was like 55 when I saw it.
I mean, last
earlier.
hour. Yeah, it was last hour.
And on the 15 minutes,
hour is telling me on the hour we're down 0.02%. So we're basically even.
Yeah, but on the 15 minute, it's bouncing.
Show my screen real quick on the 13 minute. You'll see we did get a bounce, but we're starting to retrace that, and we're kind of at session lows at this point. We're about to close a candle on the 1 hour coming up in a second. So I don't know. I just, I think we definitely head back to 52 to test that range.
Oh, XRP. They said XRP is pumping. Your favorite coin.
Yeah, I'm not bringing up XRP. Forget about it.
Good man.
I mean, at this point, what's the difference in XRP and Solana? Except for XRP hasn't had any downtime, as far as I'm aware.
Oh, good point. Because, at least Solana isn't like, yeah, we're here to bridge the gap between Wall Street, the bankers, and crypto. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was listening to the Caspa space with Billy Goattails last night, and
I jumped in for a second.
That project seems like I've been looking at it, but it looks like a really very interesting project.
It does.
Kind of very decentralized. It looks like it's a proof of work, and they're talking about faster transaction throughput than Solana.
That's why you're seeing me treat that, like, have Caspa in the lineup of tokens that or coins that I'm looking for support on with newer stuff, like the new Ledger stacks or whatever. It's Caspa, and then Ton is another one that has a lot of throughput and a lot of users. So there's a few that are a little bit newer and but very relevant with stronger fundamentals than the dog shit like Solana. Let's just call it what it is, dude. It's dog shit. It's broken so many times in the validator network, and then it is.
Casper and Caspa, I think, are two different things.
Correct. Yeah, KASPA, ticker symbol KAS.
Calling it the new Kadena, and Kadena is I think it's Kadena, not Kadena, but that is basically a clone of the private blockchain that was created for JP Morgan. And the people that have created it just put a public version out. Yeah, you could check into that. But yeah, it was a development team that created the private blockchain for JP Morgan. I believe it's just like the cloned version that's available for the public.
That's not the graphene though, because I think MIT did graphene and then they just open sourced it. But it is a hyperscale.
I mean, there's probably been some changes, but it started out, I guess, as such. Because JP Morgan has like Onyx, the JP Morgan coin, and all this running on its own private blockchain. And I believe it's the creators of Kadena.
Kadena. Yeah, Kadena, it's kind of funny that they had some really good talent attached to it. And there's a couple projects like that that have just some really good legacy computer science talent attached to it.
Yeah.
So it looked promising in its own way.
It says here, let me find where it says in the article. So Kadena is a blockchain technology company that was founded in 2017 by Stuart Popjoy and William Martino, who created JP Morgan's first blockchain and led the SEC's crypto committee.
Yeah, I think it's Popejoy. Is there an E?
Popejoy, Stuart Popejoy and William Martino. But they had worked with JP Morgan's first blockchain. So I don't know if they've changed since then, but yeah, it was something to do with like basically white labeling it and calling it Kadena, making it public.
Yeah. Let me do a shout out to one of the comments here from I am saying Zano is pumping. Zano, if you haven't looked into that one as well, that's another one that for me, slightly more esoteric project, but I'm checking for wallet support right now for this upcoming review where I'm comparing the current state of the art from Ledger and Trezor and everybody.
Yeah, I understand it's a privacy blockchain. You can create your own tokens. They offer tokenization. I'm going to be interviewing a guy named Aaron Day, who's a very strong proponent of it. I believe also that Roger Ver was a big, strong proponent of it as well.
Yes, Roger left a comment on my channel asking me to start covering it more, which to me seemed like it was coming out of left field. But it makes a lot of sense in the current conditions. So
yeah, it's supposed to be tokenization in a private manner. And I think it's a hybrid proof of work, proof of stake blockchain.
Well, no, it launched proof of work. I launched it on its in the Genesis week, or I mined it on the Genesis week. I think on the day 0 of mining, and then they were able to successfully go hybrid. And now they are, I believe, full-time proof of stake. So, yeah.
Just proof of stake, or they have a hybrid system?
I don't think it's hybrid anymore. I think it's entirely proof of stake at this point.
Okay. Hybrid would be cool. I like the idea of hybrid. But yeah, Aaron Day is a really big proponent of the project. So I was planning on covering it with him and then maybe looking into it because I'm starting to be kind of in this idea that we as individuals who want to have financial privacy, we need to be using privacy coins because the other blockchains are not going to offer the anonymity you may want to have. And that's not just to say I want to hide what I'm buying or whatever the case might be. It's just I want the privacy regardless.
Yeah, well, look,
if I'm buying toilet paper or whatever the situation might be.
Yeah, completely. Well, let me also just kind of bring that back, like circle back to what you said earlier in the program, where if there are bad laws, we have a moral and ethical obligation to fight against bad laws. We have a moral and ethical obligation to fight against bad governance. And right now, we see very clearly there's been bad governance in financial markets, in the financial sector. So having financial privacy, it is a moral obligation of people who genuinely say they believe in cryptocurrency, like, put your money where your mouth is and try to understand truly private projects. I applaud you, Rice. I think you're doing exactly the right thing.
Well, I think it's just important for us with where we're moving forward with, if they're able to usher us into a SID programmable currency that's attached to like a social credit score and or digital ID, it all equals digital prison. And we need to be able to do things to undo that. So, and again, that's things that several different people I've been listening to lately have been talking about is we need to be building these solutions, which is a form of agorism and utilizing counter economics, which is part of the definition of agorism.
Yeah,
but it's not utilizing the fiat system. I mean, I'm guilty because I use stable coins. But go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, I'm agreeing in strongest terms, man. I've been about researching crypto or privacy cryptos for years now, as you know. With the Zano project in particular, something I'm very, very proud of in my very short time on YouTube was being able to be the first person who ever publicly interviewed the lead developer at Zano. And he happened to also be the very first developer to ever touch the CryptoNote code base that became Monero. So this guy's OG. He's about as legit as they get, the developer that made Zano. Like, I'm really looking forward to seeing what you produce with Aaron. It's going to be good.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever checked out that interview I did with Fluffy Pony, who was the former lead developer.
No, he was the maintainer. He was not the lead developer. He was the maintainer. The guy who I'm talking about, who is now the lead developer at Zano, made the code base that was forked and then forked again to become Monero.
Okay.
This is legacy stuff.
Nice. Blood, let's talk about this article you have pulled up, my friend.
Yeah, first, just shout out to T-Will, Superwoman Blue, and who else won this past week? Someone else. I gave you guys your $50 worth of top signal. All three of y'all got y'all money. All right, thank you. So this is an article that I just wanted to get your opinion on, guys, as far as, you know, Bitcoin being correlated. We know it's correlated to the NASDAQ, but even more specifically, it's correlated to, unfortunately, the Magnificent Seven stocks, the Mag 7. And this, I just want to highlight this for the audience to understand that, you know, as much as we want Bitcoin to be this, like, you know, asset class that goes in the other direction while everything else goes down, we're unfortunately still highly correlated and tethered to, no pun intended, the legacy system. So this guy is just saying that we could see a fall further with Bitcoin under 50K if the Mag 7 stocks continue its slide. What are your takes on that correlation, and where do we go from here with the stocks and Bitcoin?
Seth?
Rice?
Okay, so I mean, well, I want to just say to all the people that were cheerleading all this ETF action, allowing for this complete infiltration and takeover of Wall Street of Bitcoin specifically because of the ETF. Kudos to you people.
Yeah. Let me summarize my thoughts on what I would say to those people, Rice. Can I get the close up? Can I get the single shot here?
Oh, you're gonna get the whole solo if I can get my shit to work. It's just a matter of making it work. There we go.
There we go, guys. Hey, soak it all in. See me at the next conference. I've got words for you outside the building.
You want to triple bird it? Come on, let's triple bird it with the reverse Oreo. Triple bird with the reverse Oreo. Okay, a triple bird with the reverse Oreo. A double triple bird with the reverse Oreo. There you go. It doesn't get much better than that.
Dude. Right? Like, I mean, we've all talked about this. We all warned about this shit. We were screaming it from the rooftops. The ETF was no guarantee. Every rejection that had ever come before never hurt the price, and passing it was only ever going to cause damage.
Yeah, we sold our souls for $74,000 Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it got us, Rice. It got us $74,000 Bitcoin. We sold our fucking souls.
I mean, it was to me, it was inevitable. You know, especially, and again, I mean, I know we have lagging indicators, but this is something that I think when this individual said what I'm about to share, which I've shared before, this was a pivotal point, which made me realize where we were headed.
And then one more area that I hope nation states start paying greater attention to is the rise of cryptocurrency. Because what looks like a very interesting and somewhat exotic effort to literally mine new coins in order to trade with them has the potential for undermining currencies, for undermining the role of the dollar as the reserve currency, for destabilizing nations, perhaps starting with small ones, but going much larger. So when we think about this new environment in which we find ourselves that we've been discussing for the last some minutes, we can't just think about nation states.
So, I mean, she kind of like when someone of her magnitude and her level, her reputation actually speaks about Bitcoin, it says we've gotten to the final line. Now we need to raise the alarm and we need to get control of this shit before this shit gets control of us. And that's what they did. And most of the crypto market's like, come on in. I mean, everybody's like all like super happy about Fred Flintstone, Cynthia Loomis, the Bitcoin senator, who's like completely all for KYC and AML. Like, I think she would be one of the people that would try to push, yeah, we're going to allow you to have self-custodial wallets. You just got to identify yourself, citizen.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that comment from Hillary, that came before Ocean Mining started censoring tried to censor the blocks for any of the ordinals and any of the Whirlpool. We talked about this. Any of the Whirlpool transactions. That's what they weren't saying, is that it actually also fit on the blocks, the exact same area.
Whirlpool Ocean, right?
Yes, exactly. And then
whatever they worked with the FBI under the Twitter watch, right? The one that everybody's all the Bitcoin people love.
Oh, but he grew his hair out a little bit, right? And he wore some mala beads, so you can trust him now.
He got a Nirvana shirt and he wrote Satoshi on it.
It's like, I mean, the actions speak louder, right? So they censored the Bitcoin transactions on Ocean Mining, and when they realized that they couldn't capture enough of the organic market, then they sent the feds after Samurai Wallet. Then they sent the feds after Tornado Cash. So all this stuff that Hillary's talking about, this is going to be remembered as like, well, she was the responsible one that helped us find regulation that's common sense to protect the people. Think of the children. She protected them.
Do you think that they're going to come after any of these privacy coins? Because the reason I asked this too, the self-custodial panel that I did at the Litecoin Summit, I was asking these wallets, like, do you have government agents coming to you guys, pressuring you to add KYC AML? You know, like finding out where we were headed in that direction, because it's sleight of hand when Donald Trump is like, we're going to keep your self-custody. Because again, you can keep self-custody, but your self-custody may come at the price of KYC AML. So it doesn't really matter if you have self-custody. You have control of your assets, but they know who you are. They can completely track and trace what you do, and that's the point.
Right. And they also happen to mention him and RFK Jr., who I happen to like very much. I happen to agree with a lot of what he says, but they both said nothing against confiscation policies. Now RFK mentioned buying 500 Bitcoin on top of that. With what money? I don't know. And at what deflated price, like Blood saying? Who knows?
No, he joked. Even Cynthia Lumen, just the whole idea. We're going to spend money to buy Bitcoin. We're going to print more money to buy more Bitcoin to save us from debt.
Where are they going to buy it from? Are they going to actually buy real native Bitcoin, or are they going to go buy an ETF? They can just print that too.
They could just buy the ETF, and loop in Wall Street in this circle jerk. That's what they're probably going to do.
And then they'll re-hypothecate the ETFs, and then we'll be way beyond 21 million.
It'll be this. Basically, Bitcoin will be directly. It'll be a little bolt-on attachment to the current money printer. So yeah, that's all they're going to have to do.
A Bitcoin dollar.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about? I wanted to get your opinion on this. T. Will just highlighted Michael Saylor's strategy. He's raising another $2 billion to buy more Bitcoin. How do you guys feel about this situation?
I mean, I would love to get 0% loans.
I do think he's a plant. I think he's controlled opposition, and he's playing his part well.
I don't think he's a plant.
I do.
I think he's an opportunist. If he's not a plant, he's definitely an opportunist. And here's the thing, Blood, put yourself in the man's shoes. Would you do a single move different? I don't think you would. I think you would get those cheap.
Well, first of all, loans. He's not even using his own money.
What was happening to MicroStrategy?
Exactly.
Yeah, but he's also
OPM is the best strategy in the world.
The money he's using, I don't think has much, if any, of a return. Like, you're just basically lending him money that he's just paying you back. I don't think that you're getting any compensation for the loan itself. I think it's, if I'm understanding,
that's what Seth is saying. It's a almost 0% interest loan.
So right, you're just
zero risk.
Sense, that's fine.
Everything he's doing is zero risk.
Money. He's using MicroStrategy's money, which is very irresponsible. As well, he's not even CEO anymore. He stepped down.
He's the head of the board, though.
He's board director or whatever.
Yeah, it's the right position. I mean, he's making every move correctly, dude. This is the play. Get yourself out of a position of liability. Use other people's money. Borrow money is 0%. Put it into assets that appreciate greatly. Also hold it natively, not necessarily just in an ETF. This is a masterclass. So what do I think of Saylor? I think every one of us that's in crypto and Bitcoin wants to fucking be him. But we can't be. We can't all be Saylor.
So yet again, the rich white guy ends up winning the most.
Yeah, what always happens? White privilege.
White privilege, baby, in Bitcoin. I mean, it just you can't get away from it, ladies and gents. We just fucking can't get away.
I don't know why you gotta make it about skin color. I'm inside out here. We're all bleeding right now, by the way. We all bleed red on days like today.
We bleed orange, sir.
Oh man,
Sure you do.
yeah, it's just capitalism at its finest. And again, it most people in this world don't have Bitcoin, so actions like this by Michael Saylor and others only basically allow or don't allow that small person, the 99%, by the time they get Bitcoin, it's going to be pretty much irrelevant to them as far as a financial possibility of upward mobility.
Can you imagine, like your whole stake in Bitcoin by the time it's that spread thin is like basically the average gas fee for the day? It's like, I finally got some Bitcoin. Can't transfer it.
Right. Exactly. Use Lightning Network. Oh, it's owned by a bunch of more white cabal people.
No, since we talked about basically people who are running Lightning nodes are going to have to get money transmittal license, and that's basically what's happening.
Yeah, that's another dead end in my opinion, Seth. That's another dead end, the Lightning Network. I think you're on the same page with us with the Lightning, right? You
100%.
don't like it.
And here's the thing: I was saying it directly to the Bitcoin Maxis faces on Clubhouse. I'm like, guys, this just sounds like a bad day. On Lightning's best day, you had to use L1 to go lock it up in a Lightning channel anyway. So it's like, oh, the whole thing is in L2. And why are you guys criticizing WBTC on Ethereum again? It's baseless. So use WBTC. It's centralized, but something like it, or like Synthetics Bitcoin, right? SBTC. Use that on some low fee chain like Arbitrum or like even Base. Shit, any low fee L2 on
Correct.
an EVM. Use MetaMask that everybody understands now. Go put it into an LP,
Just
get some
wrap
yield.
BTC. Yeah.
So many better options. Yeah, Litecoin is a joke.
It's a joke. I thought this article from Zero Hedge was pretty interesting. You know, my thesis was that we were going to see a lot of selling from the Mt. Gox stash creditors being refunded. And so far, it looks like Rice, about almost half of the Bitcoin have been refunded to the creditors. And I could not find in this article how many have sold. It didn't say it unless I missed it. Did you see anything in there as far as that have received it? How much of them have sold?
I haven't personally, and it looks like most of the people are actually holding. And if I was to be one of these individuals, I would already be in the mindset that, like most people, that we haven't hit all-time highs for this cycle, and they're waiting for a higher payout. If they're going to sell, might as well try to sell more of the top than where we are currently.
Yeah, I'm pretty shocked. I'm wrong on this one so far. Again, only just under half has been refunded, so we do have a little bit more to go.
It was a tedious process to be able to get approved to be one of the creditors to get the distribution. So a lot of those people,
John Hill did. He went through it
and they're early people. So I would imagine again that they still are going to hold out for if they're going to sell a higher payout. Just
I don't know,
sense.
Man. So we've seen the crash that happened, and I thought this crash would happen, Rice, but I was right for the wrong reason. Shout out to Crypto Blood being right for the wrong reason.
Being half
right on the crash. I was just wrong on why the crash was going to happen. I thought it was going to be because of Mt. Gox, and it hasn't been.
So far yet. Now, again, I mean, if we start looking like we're going to head a lot lower, it's possible some of these people may, get shaken. I mean, it is a good idea. I would imagine a good portion because, people are emotional and emotions control what people do. And a lot of times when you don't think that it's going to go back up, you just sell where you can, take your losses and get what you can out of it. So there may be a portion depending on where we start going with the market.
Yeah, I think also
I will have to say, man,
because I'm half and half on is the top end. I'm half and half.
Well, yeah, but for Mt. Gox people, here's the thing: everyone has their own time frame. And when you talk about like going to the moon, when you acquired prior to Mt. Gox, you reached your moon in 2017. You're probably great today. Some people have absolutely hit their financial projections for what Bitcoin needed to do for them, that were holding something on Mt. Gox that are getting any credit back. So I wouldn't blame anybody who is market dumping Mt. Gox,
me either.
Restoration payments, right? Like
me either.
Yeah.
No, I mean, anybody who wants to sell has that opportunity to do so. I mean, one person selling, depending on how many Bitcoin they're selling, it's not really going to hurt the market very much.
Mm-mm.
And that's also the age of people that had hundreds.
Any dip seems to be getting bought up fairly quick, because I didn't expect for us to have as big of a quick recovery as we did yesterday and today.
Ooh, speaking of, Bitcoin just crossed 55.
Well, we're not
Literally
sitting
just
at 48.
55.
Yeah, but I mean,
but we're not. But we're still under 6. We're still under 60.
Yeah, but it's testing 55 right now.
We saw a drop from just August 2nd. We were at $65,000 Bitcoin.
People are asking us about XLM, XRP, and BSV, and I will definitely say those are 3 coins that we're not going to talk about.
No, please let me talk about them just a little bit.
No, you got to talk about the market. No, they want to know what's happening with XLM. Tell Allison.
Oh no,
Allison Jowdry. Tell her, Seth, what's happening to XLM.
Here's what's happening to XLM. Anything that's ISO 20022 certified is irrelevant. And here's what's happening to BSV.
Well,
anything that was ever touched by the shit stain of Calvin Ayre as a human and CSW, unfortunately, even though the tech, if you look at it under the hood, is beautiful tech, anything that was shit stained by coming in contact with these two humans is going to struggle. Period. At least that's my humble opinion.
Well, I mean, for one, how do you get this ISO 20022 certification? It doesn't fucking exist. It's make believe. It's like all these people that think that XRP and XLM is going to be used in the new financial system that's going to be part of not the bad Great Reset, but the good great, the Nasara Jasara people, the Kool-Aid.
Oh, not the Nasara Jasara. Yeah. Oh Lord!
And it's
Shout out
up
to the Nasara Jasara.
6.4%. 6.4%, and someone called that a God candle.
Wow.
Well, how would you define God? Nothing against Allison.
Yo,
hopefully we can
like anything for Click says, we're down 30% in a week, and we see a little 10% recuperation.
5% God candle. 5% God candle. Yeah, what if Satoshi does? If Satoshi's alive?
Yeah,
here's the thing. He can't move the Genesis block, right, Rice?
In 5 minutes. I guess if you look at it in a 5-minute interval, it looks like a God candle, maybe. But that's
what are you gonna say, Seth?
Oh yeah, if this person is trading the 5-minute chart, they are truly desperate. I hope you have max leverage, max bidding. Good luck to you. Like really, go get the bag. If that's, go scalp it. Have fun. But like, yeah, as far as Satoshi dumping everything in the Genesis from the Genesis block, yeah,
you can't.
Probably not
the Genesis
possible,
block can't be moved. I thought it was programmed into.
What I was told from.
It was programmed in that the Genesis block can't be moved. Did Seth freeze up or no? He didn't. You just stopped them pausing in such a weird.
Oh! Here's the thing. I'm also being surveilled right now.
Most
you
of
should
us
know
are.
that. But I'm being targeted for surveillance right now.
Is it because of the weak arm? Neb weak arm. Is it because of that?
Yeah, it might be because of Neb weak arm. It might be because of some other people who because of known associates that Neb weak arm is trying to rat out. It could be because of the fact that, and it should be very obvious, because Neb weak arm is tagging government officials on Twitter. So obviously feds are being sent after people to go inspect their activities. Hi, we're all suspects now, not citizens. Welcome back to America.
1984.
Yeah, you get the biggest narc of them all right there, Ned Weakarm.
That's the funniest. I love that one. You got a short clip that. You got to do a short on that one, Rice. Ned Weakarm? Yeah.
Yeah. 1984. You get the biggest narc of them all right there, Ned Weakarm. That's the funniest. I love that one. You got a short clip out. You got to do a short on that one, Rice. Neb Weakarm? Yeah. 1984. You get the biggest narc of them all right there, Ned Weakarm. Yeah. Yeah.
So let me quickly address this this person, because I love it when somebody gives free content away. This person who's insisting that there's a distraction from BSV. Let me give credit where it's due. We wouldn't have ordinals, and we wouldn't be building up to runes if it were not for the BSV development community. They've done fine work.
Did they jump ship,
cool
or
in theory.
Did they jump ship to Bitcoin? Is kind of what I'm thinking. It seems like
they can't get back into BTC. They can't get back into ticker symbol BTC. The development environment is too restrictive and locked down. Don't get me wrong. I hope this person in the audience isn't presuming that I'm some Blockstream shill.
The people that decided to go ahead and build ordinals and runes on BTC, are they still BSV people?
Yes.
Have they left BSV, or is it BSV infiltrating?
It's BSV infiltrating, and it's very and honestly, in a lot of ways, it's beautiful. I'm here for it because BTC is stagnant. It's broken in that it's not developing, but BSV is broken in that you had CSW trying. Like, first off, he stole valor. He pretended to be Satoshi. We all fucking knew he wasn't Satoshi.
Oh no,
y'all were the last ones to figure it out. So nobody's going to trust your opinion. Sorry to bring it to that level, but that's just how it is.
Unfortunately, yep. I'm with you.
Yeah, the tech is good. That pisses me off.
Mm-hmm. It is.
I'm a Blockstream spy, by the way, in case you guys don't know.
Yeah.
It's one of Samson Malice hats. The guy who he blocked me.
The irony, man. That's
His
the thing. Like they're
designer hats.
Little cabals, man, in the old school of crypto.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, I love to plug the book that's behind me, Hijacking Bitcoin. It's a great book. You can go to hijackingbtc.com, I believe is what it is, or hijackingbitcoin.com, one of the two, and you can purchase the book. And it really talks a lot about the early history, what happened as far as like different entities trying to come in very, very early. And also that interview I did with Amir Taki. But Amir, I'm still kind of not sure what I think, because he doesn't have a problem with what the guy's name. I forget the guy's name now. The guy that was trying to call for the ordinals being put in the spam block. Luke Dash Jr., guy in charge of the BIPs. Because he took over the BIPs after the BIPs were created.
And they're the one that they touched to start, over on
and they did it.
They did ocean mining to start censoring blocks.
Right, and then they early in the days, then they did the BIP thing to prevent Gavin and the Bitcoin Foundation from just wildly doing whatever they wanted to do, and then Luke Dash Jr. gets in charge of the BIPs. In some degree, Gavin gets pushed out.
Well, and the irony is that Gavin had gone and directly interviewed with the feds. He had directly spoken to the feds right before Satoshi disappeared. And then they were like, we got to get this guy out because he's a threat. What? He's going to destroy the cypherpunk purity. And it was only a matter of time. They got to Luke anyway.
If YouTube censorship was monetized, these guys would be top earners. Wouldn't that be great? If we can monetize our censorship.
That's great.
Censor to earn. Is that going to be in the new meta in Web3?
I don't know.
Did I say zombies are coming in October? And if Default's talking about the conversation that we had, because I don't know if it's been that long since, I think the conversation we had with Stan was.
Stan Barabbas.
But I never specifically said anybody was going to become zombies. I don't know if John Default's
Where's Barabbas?
Have
you talked to him?
Yeah, and he reached out to me, and I was supposed to call him back.
Okay.
So,
speaking of reaching out and supposed to call back, whatever happened to the guy that was gonna hook you up with homeboy that was standing behind Trump on July 13th?
Oh yeah,
was also there on January 6th.
He's not responding. He's not said a fucking word back to me. He never responded to the messages.
That's very strange. Isn't
that's not suspect at all, Blood. No, that's very normal.
Oh, you're right. I thought you were street smart. I was street smart. Clearly, I'm not.
I mean, I thought me and Bruce were, in really good terms. but whatever, you know, I kind of quit doing it because there's no point in just like badgering if I wasn't going to get any response.
Oh, he's talking about your boy. Yeah,
Oh.
not you.
I mean, yeah, not everybody's right, but I mean, if you want to be a broken clock, eventually somewhere down the line, I'm sure some humans are going to turn into zombies some point in human history, and then we could say he's right.
I mean, look at Peter Schiff. I mean, he's been wrong forever and still wrong, but he's still going on. He's going to get it right one day, ladies and gents. Gold is going to be 32,000 one day. One day.
Oh my gosh, Peter Schiff, he's got to get so tired of all the hate mail he gets from Bitcoiners.
No, it has to fuel him. Like he's like the Energizer Bunny. That guy keeps going and going.
Playing a role. He's playing a role. He's not dumb.
I don't know, man.
He owns Bitcoin.
No, I think Kramer's playing a role. I think Schiff's a true believer.
No, I think I'm with Seth. I think Schiff is a true believer. Yeah, Kramer's playing a role, definitely.
Yeah,
he's a true believer in Bitcoin being bad. Is that what you're saying? Schiff is a true believer in Bitcoin bad?
Yeah, he's like Dave Ramsey. He's got a macro thesis and he's got to stick to it.
I don't know. I mean, the other thing I'm disappointed about with him, and it's like if I ever did an interview with him, I would have to bring up his father.
I loved his father for what he did. Yeah, shout out to Erwin Schiff, R.I.P.
Died in prison, tax bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, and that's just it. He is a man with a moral code. There's a lot to like about Schiff. There really is.
I like him. I still like him, and he's the most wrong guy ever. I watch his podcast almost every night.
So is everything?
I don't know what he's got, man. We need to get his juice or whatever he does. Pause, no Diddy. We need to get whatever he's got.
Maybe he's on the adrenochromes.
Mm-hmm.
He's got money. Maybe that's all you need, just to buy a ticket to the club. Maybe he's getting the street adrenos.
No, he's not in the club, man. They actually attacked him. They shut his bank down. I don't know if you followed that whole story, man. It was brutal.
Well, it wasn't the bank that he used, not his bank, right?
No, his bank. He owned it. No, he was owner. Almost.
It has something to do with his gold credit cards, I think, too. You know, his those gold credit cards that he offers. Have you not seen those?
It didn't have anything to do with that. I do remember that.
Okay.
You chip off a little piece, right?
Yeah, I believe he did. No, you can't chip off a piece of You just scan. It's just made of gold. It was made of gold. The card itself, it's like a credit card made of gold.
That sounds like a very, very bad idea.
When you swipe credit card, when you swipe the card, when you're swiping the card, it's like it's like using your Coinbase card, but instead of crypto coming out the other side, it's gold.
Yeah, that's so
it's a way to spend your gold using the credit system.
That's
just crazy.
Fighting against
you guys,
the
Seth,
grain.
I know that you're not a TA guy necessarily, but I think Bitcoin just recently hit its all-time high in hash rate, which generally we start seeing that price action follow after that too. But we're also seeing what's happening to Bitcoin now. Do you ultimately think that this is over and we're going to start heading upward? Do you think we have more pain to come, lower action?
Yeah. So for me right now, I've been adjusting a bit of I'm trying to take in new information all the time. First thing. And usually I would speak just to the hash rate and say, okay, well, I can identify, like I correctly identified. I didn't realize I was going to.
Looks like Space Invaders.
God candle. Oh my God, guys. Oh my God. Oh, I'm sorry. This is just the
it looks like Space Invaders.
It's just a 13-minute chart.
When it was scrolling down, it looked like I could have shot them things like Space Invaders and just
I'm sorry, Seth. Go ahead, bro.
That was awesome, man. Next time, just show a green dildo on the screen. You can't get more demonetized than demonetized, right? So just do it. Commit to the bit, blood. Do it. But
oh my God.
Yeah. But now I'm trying to take in new information and learn new things. I am actively learning TA right now. I'm actively learning. But I mean, here's the thing, man. Like I don't pretend to know much about this stuff. Down the tech side and the hash rate.
I'm sorry. I'm getting glimmers of a white Black Panther, or White Panther, not a Black Panther, but a White Panther. The outfit, you actually kind of look like a superhero meets guru for a second.
Do I need to rip off this Armani shirt to show my actual skin color?
No, please. I got lost. I just got lost. So go continue,
right.
sir.
It's so crazy because you know, a white guy couldn't call themselves a White Panther. That's called Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah, but
a black, we can get away with it.
A white Black Panther, the Great Panther.
Like a cougar, right? But that gets a little bit confusing.
If you had just like teeth coming from the beads or something, if you had teeth, that'd be cool.
Man, I'll stop with the mala beads, right? Mala beads, I'm okay with. I think I'm good there. It's not even like a black or white thing. It's a Polynesian thing. I thought.
There you go. And you start doing this.
Yeah. The Maori dance. Well, I am 4am. I appreciate that. I think I am 4am brought up the receipts last time that I mean, I do mostly stay with fundamentals, but I'm learning a bit about TA to try to get into some trading. That's something that I want to start doing in some spare time, all that spare time. But right now, like the hash rate, I'm not convinced that this cycle is the same, Rice. I don't think it's going to play out where we necessarily go up just because hash rate's at all-time high. I think that right now the markets have a bigger say. I think black swan events always have a bigger say. They can stop by with the hammer and just like stop everything. And we are approaching the apex of the everything bubble. It isn't just one thing. It's the one thing is everything.
It's Earth thing. It's Earth thing and all in one. Yeah, it's like the ultimate bubble. It's like taking all the little bubbles and making them into one big bubble. And yeah, it's about to be popped. But again, how long can they keep inflating it before? Because man, same thing with some bubble gum. I blew some bubbles, and I'm just like, I was so surprised like how big these bubbles got. So, and able to still maintain being a bubble when it looked like just a giant titty coming out of my mouth in reverse.
Yeah. Well, so it's kind of funny that O'Neill asked something about being part of the bloodline. I guess it's true. Like I am like 20%. If you look at just DNA, you have to zoom in real close to see the black in me, but it's 20% sub-Saharan African. So I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I can see it. I'm 17% Great British.
What percentage Smith are you?
Smith?
Yeah, what percentage Smith are you?
What is Smith?
One of the greatest breeders in American history.
Oh, dude, are you asking blood? Oh, me?
No, you.
Oh, you was in who?
I don't think. I don't know if any.
What is the gentleman's name that created the Mormon Bible?
Yeah, it's Joseph Smith.
Right,
yeah, Joseph Smith.
How much Smith you got in you?
And he was an absolute. Oh yeah, among Bible fearing people, God fearing people. He was a Chad Rammer. It's true.
I was saying he was one of the top breeders. Just like Benjamin Franklin, I believe. They're like Johnny Breeder seed over there, Johnny Sperm seed.
Oh, yeah. No, it's the thing. I mean, any cult of personality, it just happens. It doesn't matter if religion is involved or not. If you're a dude and you have the attention of hundreds of useful idiots following you, well, some of them are female, so things happen.
Anything for clicks is 13% cat.
That can't be right.
I knew you were a pussy.
Good one. Yeah, so Blood, you think the markets are going lower? Obviously, you're feeling.
We might get a. Oh! Wait a minute, guys. We're getting a dump. We're getting a dump right now. Oh no! Look, Rice live. We're getting a dump. It's dumping.
You don't say. Is that it? Wait a second.
Is
that it?
Oh. Never mind. I'm gonna keep running with that one. Yeah, I think we're gonna go lower, man. It's inevitable. Bitcoin, crypto is just heavily tied to all this other stuff that's going on, man. Like, what do you guys think is gonna happen with this war? Like, things are really escalating with Hamas and Israel, and Hamas said, Hamas said they got targets they're looking at now to hit that are more inner.
I mean, even if you had
mainland
factions of people, factional groups or whatever attacking from the Iran side, it would still look like it was Iran as a whole. So there's many different things that could set this thing off as far as like triggering it worse. But again, why would the United States have 3 ginormous warships on the way for something that's not going to happen? Seems like a waste of resources for nothing. There's a reason. There's a reason why there's 3 big, ginormous warships are en route to Israel.
So there's just too many things overhanging us.
And I think the Israeli government, the Zionists, are trying to whether or not there's legitimacy to the Book of Revelations, they're trying to make it a reality.
Yeah, well, Bibi Netanyahu is
all seemingly very, very much been written, and it's almost like, hey, I read this stuff so well that let's just play it out. And that's what it feels like. Everything is like kind of getting to that biblical proportion where, you know, again, this is gonna be bad. If you consider what started World War I and what started World War II, I mean, we're beyond that. I think we're already in World War III. We just don't. The public don't realize it because again, I think that cyber attacks and flying balloons over countries and all kinds of various things, destroying pipelines.
Correct.
Those are all signs of international turmoil. It has I guess everything has a lagging effect because we're retarded sheeple.
Thank you, Alex. Oh, thank you, sir. This is actually a Roots little Carnegie thing I've got on anyway. It is Canadian.
I thought you were going for Carlton. I was saying Mr. Rogers. Did you even change your shoes and stuff when you're done?
All you have to do is ask yourself, do you think we're going to escalate in geopolitical situations, equity markets, currency wars? If you think all of these things are in the pipeline in the next, I don't know, 3 months or so, then I just can't see Bitcoin making it through that. It'll be the best thing smoking on the other side, but I just think we got further to go down.
That's the best thing, though, I think right now for anybody who's facing the budget shortfalls that all of retail is facing, though, right? The credit crunch right now and the fact that people are running out of their own means. The best possible thing is for Bitcoin to go on fire sale and every other affiliated, right, correlated asset to go on fire sale. Like, this is an answer to everybody's prayers, whether they know it or not.
Yeah, when we talk about buying when, you know, prices are low, sometimes it's going to be really bad external situations in the world that cause the prices to be low. So that's where you kind of had to come up with a game plan and make sure you're sticking to it and trying to like make sure that you solidify that plan to the point that you don't let your emotions overcome and make you doubt yourself or whatever the situation might be. But these are like, if you look at people from the 2007, 2008 time period when we had that global financial crisis crash and everything put on life support, those that had the fodder, the cash on the side, they made out like bandits because they were able to scoop up real estate. They were able to scoop up assets and all these different things at fire sale prices, low prices, so that when the money printer went on and everything got inflated, they were ahead of the game.
To benefit. Mm-hmm.
And we have that opportunity if people make the right decisions. And, you know, to give a great example, and you can go back and watch his channel, and he's talked about it numerous times, but Crypto Zombie, K-Dub, he, back in like 2017, he had sold his car and was riding a bike so he could stack sats.
Dude.
Now he's got his house. He's got his house in upstate New York. He's got his house in Florida, and he's seemingly doing well for himself.
And he's got cash in the bank. His P&L in 2021 was he confided to me his P&L in 2021. He's not riding a bike anymore.
Oh, I know that. No, I'm just saying sometimes you got to make sacrifices so you can get to that point. And that's a really good example.
But
by doing that in 2017.
In addition to that, though, Rice, you gotta take some out the casino. You have to
always, because that's
you gotta take. And I'm calling cryptos the casino. It's a house of casino.
Problems haunted him, and I know he's talked about it a little bit publicly. He's got all that stuff situated, but you got to be smart about this whole entire fucking game. When you're getting on that kind of a scale, you got to learn how to play the game like the big boys play the game, and that's the reason why they talk about a lot of these big corporations not paying a lot in taxes is because they have smart people that understand a tax code and can write off a lot of shit and manipulate the numbers enough to where they're not really having to pay a lot out of pocket. So we had that opportunity, though, to enrich yourself, to make yourself wealthier monetarily so that you could try to change your life, my life, everybody's life, and better everyone else. Because I think the more of us that are essentially trying to bring better information and better things into the world, have money to where we can help people, the more of an effect it's going to make, because we can actually do more things than just talking the talk. We can actually more so walk the walk.
Right, you're right. People have a moral obligation to save their families, and that means sometimes like all kinds of sacrifice, but the moral obligation to save your own family and people who are close to you. And right now, that looks an awful lot like financial warfare. It looks an awful lot like taking every reasonable tax exemption that you can. It looks an awful lot like using legal tax structures to shelter yourself from liability. It looks like, in some cases, legal offshore shelters to remove your net worth from liability. And it looks like you're saying, paying attention to these emerging assets in crypto that have massive upside, either short-term or long-term upside. And yeah, I mean, it, like when we were growing up, it wasn't considered virtuous to be like, rich just for the sake of being rich. And I love this is something that the author that you turned me towards with the not the fourth turning, but the Great Taking, where he talked about the neighborhood that he grew up in Ohio was this way too, right? Like a lot of us grew up around working class values where it was like, okay, what's your vocation in life? When's the last time you even heard somebody talk about vocation?
Right.
Yeah.
Vocation.
Right. And now it's like, no, we all kind of, I think it's because we realize things are getting so desperate towards the end game of all this stuff that we've been raised around, that we have to carve out the means to survive after the dust settles. And that's going to look an awful lot like, how do I make sure that I have enough of the financial means right now? So the world is, I mean, it's so different, so weird. Anyway.
Somebody apparently is not allowed to comment or something like that. Looks like Ofnir.
Shout out to Ofnir. I mean, he's in Canada, man. They're going crazy with the censorship up there. Thanks for that.
Maybe Canada, the Canadians don't like us. Well, we got Alex watching us, but maybe he's using a VPN. Who knows? All right, man. Well, I think this has been a really enjoyable conversation. I just want people to be smart, make sure they're being prepared for all different things. And I think that, however you can better yourself, there's lots of ways that we can cut corners if you think about how you're spending your money, because people might smoke cigarettes. That's something that maybe you could quit doing if you don't have the extra funds. So there's always corners that can be cut. Just think about those things and be smart. Make sure you're setting yourself up for success and not disaster. Because again, I think everything, not just the markets, I think everything is still going to get worse before it even slightly gets better. And I say that positively because it will get better.
Yeah.
Learn how to at least field strip, clean, and build firearms.
Yeah. There you
and
go.
For Affini Mazda, man, we've been trying to do this thing on every Wednesday. We don't have a consistent time. The Three Wise Man Wednesday.
We usually do it 3 p.m.
Has it always been 3 p.m.?
It's most of the time. Maybe once not, but
I mean, we did. I know
we did a couple that were at 1 p.m.
FOMC were earlier, but
FOMCs are earlier, but I think the other ones were all 3.
But yeah, we try to do it every Wednesday.
Next week, you want to give a sneak peek on what
are we going to
topic of discussion?
Tell me, it'll be a sneak peek for me too. I don't know. Okay. What is the topic next week?
I don't know.
Anybody have
no clue.
Here's the thing. I mean, I think with everything moving so fast, I know we have a few things kind of that we could talk about that.
Right.
But there's also some things that could happen between now and Wednesday. And honestly, I think it's
So
probably
we'll
going to
keep you
be, I mean,
guys-
just consider what happens like every week to week. It's
right.
How long
what did
ago?
Jesus say? Sufficient.
How long ago was the
Sufficient the day to the evil thereof? Sorry, that's the I guess the Bible quote.
What's that? What's the quote?
Sufficient the day to the evil thereof. Just take it one day at a time.
Yeah, round of applause for that.
Yeah, we need to do some more uncensored stuff. We'll have to figure that out.
Yep.
But sometimes, you know, we need to bring more information to the masses, and YouTube, as much as the censor is, it's whatever, man. I'm not gonna keep talking about that shit. So, hey, you guys got any final thoughts before we wrap up?
No, man. Had a great time as always, and looking forward to next week. We'll keep you guys. Well, we'll just let you know on the day of what we're talking about, because, as Rice stated, things move so quickly. It's a crazy world, and yeah.
I mean, we got a few evergreen things, not necessarily evergreen, but just stuff that's not so important necessarily to talk about. And I think, like I said, we're still at such a interesting point in where we are. Because again, I'm trying to think, how long ago was it that we had the presidential debate between Trump and Biden? How long ago was that? It was like 4 or 5 weeks ago, maybe 6.
Yeah, and Trump has been shot at.
And look at how much shit has happened since then.
We've had Biden drop out. We've had
Kamala.
It's crazy, man.
We've had the
Kamala.
vice presidential selection stuff. I mean, it's been Crypto Mine is saying 4 weeks. Now, if it is 4 weeks, that is insane how much fucking shit has been happening in just 4 weeks.
Oh my God, bro.
I was thinking
crypto normally uses, I mean, usually, I mean, under good circumstances, a week in crypto is like a month, but this has felt like a lifetime.
Maybe the real world is catching up to crypto, and now the whole world is on crypto.
Or maybe CERN effed everything up, and
we're on an alternate. We're on Earth number 568b.
That's probably what it is.
I think they do it quite often, because I'm telling you, it's like I wake up and all of a sudden
Mandela effects every 5 minutes.
Seems like it. Seems like it. So make sure you guys are following us. We're all streaming on our X accounts. Me and Blood are streaming on our YouTubes, and I'm streaming on my Rumble. We have links down below for each other's channels. You can follow me on the X at RiceTVX. You can follow Crypto Blood on the X at CryptoBlood_, and you can follow Seth MineYourBiz at MineYour_biz, and enjoy the Fuck Your Feelings live stream that we offer you today.
Shout out to T Will. I got your super chat. You are on the wheel for next week, my friend. Thank you.
You guys are watching.
And
on
we just made new intraday lows.
Where are we at?
Or maybe not intraday.
54.7.
Yeah.
No, it was under 50.
We're down
54.613.
It's showing me 3% for the 24 hours and down a little over 15% for the 7 days. Ethereum is sitting, but you know what's really weird is how Solana's performed, because I guess it's about evened up with the most of the market. It's 18.
You know, all those insider whales aren't their manipulation isn't making you feel all warm and fuzzy. They're not giving you any insider tips as to how to long or short.
Solana?
Yeah,
Solana.
N-O-O-S?
Solana.
What are we looking at here?
I'm just showing you intraday. We just nicked bottom of the session for today. So we'll see, man, how this all pans out.
Did you download your song yet?
No.
You played the alternate one.
Is this not the real one?
Wait a second, no. There's the one with the video. I would be flattered if y'all debut it.
Let's do it. Come on.
Is it in a Telegram group?
Yeah, it's in a Telegram group.
Hold on a second.
Premiere.
I thought there was only one link here.
Jerry.
They're just calling your name.
I know, but it's so funny because you were on Jerry Springer show. So it is 2 birds, 1 stone. Jerry.
Get 2 birds stoned at once.
2 birds stoned at once. Jerry.
I see a gun video.
Jerry.
Yeah, that one.
Jerry.
That one.
Does it have the music in it?
Yes.
No, this is you firing a gun.
Oh no, that's different. That's a Black Panther right.
Did you send it to me?
Yeah,
in
well, no, it's in our chat.
It's in our chat, group chat. It's how
it's a main file. So I didn't let it get recompressed. I left it in full pristine condition.
2 videos. No, I don't have it.
Out.
What?
Post. I'm scrolling. I'm looking.
Video. Not as a video. Maybe one file.
Yeah, because
Satoshi Shuffle. Oh, I see.
That's the one. The two Satoshi Shuffle.
Search two Satoshi
Shuffle.
I
see it now. I see it.
That's a tongue diggler twizzler.
Diggler.
two Satoshi Shuffle. God.
File wasn't available on the site. What the fuck is this? Let me go to my
it's malware. You've been hacked. Seth is a hacker.
I think Seth just had me download something I shouldn't have downloaded.
You forgot the major part.
Nib. Nib. Weak arm.
Major hacker to you. I got the chevrons over here.
I'm never gonna. I'm gonna stop talking to you online. Find this fucking thing here. See if I can.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. World premiere.
The volume on it.
Oh yeah, you gotta go full screen too.
I don't know if it's can I can't go much more.
Bottom right. Bottom right.
Where the fuck?
Bottom right.
I know, but I can't make it play. It's not playing
because you selected the wrong thing. Unfortunately, hold on.
Okay.
Huh? What is going? Okay.
Let me stop this.
You got your Telegram, all your scrippers, all your Telegram scrippers.
There was no scrippers. Don't talk to my scrippers on Telegram.
Jerry.
Video.
There's tagged you again. I brought it up.
Crypto Hustle. Okay, you got it. Can you share it?
What? Yeah, I should be able to.
Yeah, Seth sent the 0-day exploit, Rice. Round of applause.
I have to clean my fucking computer
live. We're gonna watch Rice get drained live, ladies and gentlemen.
Actually, it will let me just directly share. I don't know why I didn't think about it. It'll let me share the video.
Oh yeah, you can do
Taking
that
forever.
No, it said that there was no file available to download. Is what it said.
So I've got.
Rice. Seth got.
Yeah, so I've got a little share right there. What's with the audio? Did my audio not get shared?
Yeah, we can hear it.
We can hear it.
Yo, it's Crypto Blood, Detroit flow, stringing from the D, knowing what to show. Indicators are on point, OG since 12. Investing and trading, living life like a pro. I'm Rucker, Jerry, with just blood too.
Jerry,
but in a good way, boo. Got my eyes on the charts, ain't no time to sleep. Get that money, gotta keep it creep. It's my Crypto Blood, 2 Satoshis on the line. Stacked in my coin, got the market on my mind. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum too. Cash is game, but I'm looking for a new move. I know the culture of the markets like the streets. Got my finger on the pulse, can't nobody beat. I see the trend, I see the flow. Got my strategies in place, you know. Fud, don't even get me started. I'm Bitcoin crash, ain't nothing to be scarred. I'm Crypto Blood running game on the track. Got my 2 Satoshis and I'm never looking back. It's in your grip, it's in your blood. When Bitcoin crash, you'll tell you it's fun. Stacking my coin, getting this money, see, all on my coin is my 2 Satoshi Crypto Blood on the line. Stacking my coin, got the market on my mind. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum too. Cash is king, but I'm looking for a new move. Crypto Blood, Rucker, Jerry, and more. Got this rap game on lock, and he won't be ignored. Stacking this coin, getting that dough. Crypto Blood's got the flow, bitch, now you know.
Nice.
Seth, I think you've got a new career, my friend. You're a producer now. I mean, you got 2 major hits.
Producing AI music now, yeah.
All right.
That's great.
All right.
Man.
Don't
Appreciate
tell
it.
Cassius. You might get a little sad.
Well, sadly, I have to say, just in my opinion, I think that the AI writes much better material.
See,
and I can say that because even Blood heard me rap, heard a song that I did. It was rapping. And I sound white as hell, and it doesn't sound that great. Like I sound better doing like the Limp Bizkit kind of thing versus trying to do hip hop because it's a bad version of the Beastie Boys and it just doesn't sound good. And
yeah, the Limp Bizkit Rice is great. Actually, he's got some bars.
But a lot of crypto artists are not like. I'm not really impressed. I am impressed by the AI. I am too. So I'm gonna ride this out with the other track.
Vanilla Rice.
The other number.
Vanilla Rice.
Never heard Vanilla Rice?
Oh man, that's a good one.
It is a good one. There's so many good things that can go with rice, man. Even blood, and some Minister Biz.
Oh, there you go.
The Sethinator. We'll ride it out. Check the second #1 track. Hey, from the future Grammy award-winning producer.
Right. It's serious.
Rice TVX,
robots, 4 robots.
Wire. American Pitbull, real gold buyer.
Not a robot.
Sound money advocate,
like
rights
button,
defender. In the crypto arena,
smash that like.
From the gritty streets of the digital age, Rice lays wisdom, chapter and page. Silver, gold, he stores only the bold. Land, life, and liberty, these values hold. Constitution, deep dive, knowledge revival. Navigate the system, critical for survival. Rice engraved like inscriptions on metal. Pitbull in the game, lead foot on the pedal. Land acquirer, a strategic mind. In the fight for freedom, he's frontline. Educate on rights, the law he'll explain. Chris Rice the Pitbull, breaking the chain. I'm gonna go Twitter to you. In the arena where truths collide, Rice TVX, the certified guide. Silver and gold, land and rights. American Pitbull in the freedom fights. In a world of chaos, he's the calm in the storm. Teaching the masses, ready to inform. Keys to crypto, rights we cherish. His wisdom like paths that others perish. Guardian of wealth, from digital to ancient. His legacy crafted, fearless and patient.
Jerry.